All right, Shalom. I want to start by saying, call Allah, YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, KAKADASH. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love always to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. All right, real quick, as the title reads, I think it said quick testimony of the scripture and spirit. Now, the reason I entitled that is because there's nothing in particular as far as the prophecy-wise, but this is something that happened to me at work yesterday, and it's revolving around something I do personally before what happened yesterday happened, right? So I'm gonna give you a backstory. So what I do is sometimes, randomly, sometimes I just link a scripture with the day's date. So for instance, today is January, I believe 28th. I think it's the 28th or 27th. I'm not sure, but I think it's something like that, right? So I'll be like, no, matter of fact, today is the 27th because yesterday was the 26th. All right, and that goes into what I'm talking about. But so I'll match the scripture, the scripture and the date. So for instance, so today is January 27th. So I would go to, for instance, Psalms 1, Proverbs 1 and 27, or Romans 1 and 27, or Revelation 1 and 27, or whatever book has. Obviously, every book has one chapter, and whatever book has up to a certain amount of verses of the day, of the month. And usually in a month, it's like 30 to the most is 31 days. So if it's a scripture that has one chapter or however many chapters, what day, what month you're in the year, it will be that day, and the days are the verses, and the month are the chapters. So all in all, I do that. And I've been doing that actually for a little minute now. So yesterday at work, because I wanted to talk about it yesterday on the date of January 26th, but YouTube, it was something up with the thing, and it kept stopping my stream. I guess that was Satan, like that, because that was the first time I ever had that issue. It kept saying to reconnect, and it wouldn't. And I would press the button, and it wouldn't allow me to go back live. So I'm doing it today through the Spirit. So anyway, so I'm driving this woman. I'm at work, regular. And we were talking about things, and this woman, she's around my age. She's in her mid to late 30s, and she's 2 years younger than me, so she's like 35 because I'm 37. And anyway, so we was talking, and we were just talking about a bunch of things. We talk about a bunch of things. She cool, whatever. And we was actually talking, the Bible came up, and she said, basically, they said in the churches, I think in the 501c3 buildings, the actual churches, they say they link up, read Proverbs, the first chapter, every day of the month for January. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because I do that sporadically with any scripture or any book. I don't know if they do it with any other book or chapters or whatever, but she told me that they do that with Proverbs, the first chapter in the month of January. So I'm like, all right, so let's do it. Let's go to it. Now, when she went to a scripture, she started reading, right? This is what she started reading. No, matter of fact, that's what she did. She read this. And I was listening, I'm like, the hell? She read this. She read, "Judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide." Now, and I'm not off top. I'm not thinking, because we know scripture, but sometimes you go off of when somebody's reading it, right? So when I'm listening to it, I'm like, that's Proverbs? And she was whatever trying to do it. And then she showed me her phone. And I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the chapter. First off, she was in the wrong book and chapter. She was in Psalms, the 26th chapter, right? So all in all, so I'm like, nah, this the wrong thing. Because I'm looking at it. It says a Psalm of David, but I'm like, you said you're supposed to be in Proverbs. So I'm like, David is. If I'm not mistaken, David probably had a little mentionings in Proverbs, but more so Proverbs was Solomon's work. So anyway, so we get to the right scripture, right? Now, keep in mind, this woman, she's an Edomite, but I think she might be a Jake, but she's an Edomite, a white-looking woman, and she's from Germany, right? Her family, she's German. I believe she said she's German and Italian, right? So we talking about the whole thing happening with the small hats over there in that part of the world and America, and like how shit's so fucked up. She telling me a bit about her, like, a little bit of her personal life, nothing too crazy, but just telling me things, right? And then and we talking about how like men and women are not equal and things of that nature. The earth is not flat and things of that. We talk about some deep shit. So all in all, so I'm like, yo, she said that a man, and I'm gonna get to Proverbs. She said a man. She said she basically could fight a man. I was like, no, let's get into it. Cause I want to get into a little bit of the conversation because it was very heavy. I was like, yo, cause we basically saying that men and women are not equal, physically and whatnot, mentally, all that, right? A man, there's never been an instance where a woman has taken the pee-pee from a man without him being tied up or drugged. There's no instance of a woman, unless she's some UFC crazy, even that's a stretch, but beating up, like just straight manhandling a man. I'm talking about a real man. I'm not talking about a beta man. I'm not talking about a weak man. I'm not talking about a man that's frail and whatnot. I'm talking about an actual, real, full-blooded man with a manly mentality, a manly aura, a manly demeanor, all of that. You can't. So, she was saying all that, and then we went to the scriptures. So now, let's get into the brass tacks of the scriptures without, I don't want to vent too much. Because when you match the date, because she said they matched the dates of the whole month of January, they said read each proverb verse for the day. So yesterday was January 26th. Now let's go to Proverbs 1 and 26. Now keep in mind, this is all that she was talking about, this, that, and the third. Like, it was a little bit on a prideful side, but not too much as most. Okay? Because these women understand, like, women are, every day, more and more women are starting to understand how much they're the weaker vessel. And if to understand that, go outside in the dark and in the nighttime, and if you and a woman are crossing paths with each other, see how humble she is. And that's just real shit, and that's natural. It's nothing wrong with it. The Lord said they are the weaker vessel. The Lord created them to be the weaker vessel. The Lord said he deprived her of wisdom, deprived her of knowledge. That's why they say is that you really shouldn't argue with a woman. Now, of course, we have people that, a woman in your relationship is different, but I'm talking about as far as, like, if you want to argue about deep issues, it wouldn't be no thing to talk. You know what I mean? Anyway, so now I have two scriptures because I want to bring out Psalms, right? I want to bring out, I want to bring out Proverbs, and I also want to bring out Psalms. But I want to bring out Proverbs first. Okay, so we're in the book of Proverbs. Now, this is, I guess I'll read 27 just off GP, but the video I wanted to bring out was for yesterday, but, Satan was bugging on the YouTube. So this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 26, and it reads, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when your fear cometh. Now, the thing, I started to dance in the van when I read that, like, ooh, because we were just talking about the Amalek and them. We talk about all the things happening in the world, all these prophecies coming to pass. And what does that mean for most? That means calamities is about to come. But to the ones that were here, those are the ones with the wisdom. Those are the ones that they elect of YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, of the nation of Israel, the Lord's only chosen nation, the nation of Jacob, the children of Jacob. No matter what they try to tell you in the church, no matter what they say, the Lord only dealt with the nation of Israel. Okay. So he said, Proverbs 1 and 26, I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock you when your fear cometh. Now, who is the calamity right now? A little bit of the citizens of the small hat citizens, and maybe the government too. Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, Ham, because all of these people, they're experiencing world issues and they're experiencing quote unquote natural disasters. You just had a 7.1 point earthquake in China a couple days ago. You had an influx of earthquakes happening over here, Afghanistan, other parts of the world. Crazy monstrous events, natural disasters as they would call them. But who was causing it? YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. That's the cause. That's the source. They are the nature. But they have the cause has a name, and Esau don't want to give YAHAWAH or YAHAWASHI the credit, but we will. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI said he stretched out the heavens and the earth by himself. No one helped him. No other God. That's who's doing this. And that's who says he's going, and how he's going to laugh. How he's going to laugh through us. He's going to laugh through his prophets, the one that has his spirit. Because remember, the Lord is a spirit. YAHAWAH is a consuming fire. And our spirits is what? Fire. But he's the ultimate fire. But we're all little baby fires of him. That's why we're the children of God. We're little baby YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHIs. We're the express image of YAHAWASHI, and YAHAWASHI is the express image of Yahweh. So when you're dealing with the prophets and they're giving praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, those are the men of the Lord. Until otherwise, Because you have people that fall out the truth. But I'm talking about the men that staying on the path. The ones preaching YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Those are the men of the Lord. Those are the men of the one true living God. Let's read verse 27, just because today is the 27th, because the 26 had that kind of rhetoric. Let's see what 27 says. Proverbs 1:27 says, when your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. Now, who is experiencing that right now? For one, Ishmael, and Ishmael's receiving what? Amalek too. But Amalek's citizens are not really feeling it too much. They still just have those people that's under captivity. But the actual citizens of the Ishmaelites, Hagarites, all of that. Remember that, Hagarites? Remember the Lord said he had some smoke for you. And I believe that was in Psalms as well. The Lord said he had smoke for Ammon, Moab, Esau, Edom, the Hamites. That's all you heathen round about the whole earth. So now let's go to Psalms, because that was actually good. I was reading that yesterday. We're going to go to Psalms, the 44th chapter. It's a short chapter. Actually, no, this wasn't that short. This is actually 22 verses. But where is that at? Oh, yeah. Psalms 44:4, because it made me think about when people say that the Lord didn't have just one nation that he chose, which is bullshit. The Lord said on numerous occasions that he's only dealing with the nation of Israel. Numerous occasions, all throughout the scriptures. So Psalms 44:1 says, well, the caption reads, remember the past. Now, obviously, this is talking about David in his particular time in his life. But if you fast forward, remember the past. What was our past in America? Slavery. Our present is slavery, oppression, distress, subject to payments. These things are all things we're experiencing in America. David didn't experience that. Remember, David subdued the nations. He had a lot of issues with his own people, his families, other Israelites. That's who David had a lot of issues with when in these Psalms. He had issues with a lot of Israelites, but he mentioned the heathens too. He said, don't forget them. Get them niggas too. And the Lord is getting you heathens. And call on YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI for doing so, man, and continuing to do so. And it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until YAHAWASHI comes back and then just shows you that he's the one doing it. But he's the one doing it still. You just don't know it yet. That's why I said when they're going to see there's things they not heard or not seen. Because they heard the prophets, they seen the prophets, but they ignored it. Because the Lord didn't awake them. He didn't open their eyes. He's not dealing with them. He don't care about heathens. So this is Psalm chapter 44, verse 1. It says, we have heard with our ears, O Yahweh, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days in the times of old. And this all being continued. This all to repeat. Remember, things written aforetime were written for our learning. This is written for our learning. David's writings, the Psalms, Proverbs, Solomon, the prophets, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, all of them. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John the Revelator, all Esdras, all of them. They all spoke on the things of the past because that's the thing. That's our memories, right? This is a memorial, and America's destruction is going to be a memorial for us after this. And once we're back in our land and everything's back to normal, and we get out of this bad fucking dream, this nightmare of fucking captivity, and seeing you fucking devils over us, man, seeing you red devils over us, and to think that you're gonna rule forever. And to think that you was going to be able to just do this and get this off, and then you just ride off in the sunset like nothing happened. Oh no, Esau, Edom. Oh no. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI said he got you. He got you. You elites. You CBers. You central errors. You know what the fuck you are. YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI said he got you. Remember Amalek. You were the first ones that oppressed us coming out of Egypt. We about to get out of Egypt again. Your number is up, boy. Your number's up, boy. So it says, verse 2, it says, how thou didst drive out the heathen with thy hand and plantedest them. How thou didst afflict the people and cast them out. Get through heathens out there. Get out of our land. Get out of there, Ishmael. Get out of there, Amalek, and whoever the fuck else over there, man. You think this is going to stop? You think, all right, they talk about, oh, when we get victory, right? All right, so when you get victory, who's going to decide that? Who's going to decide? Who's going to decide the end of a war? And who won? If the Lord said he's about to come and judge all y'all. The Lord said the fire is going to be kindled. The fire is going to be there. He's going to come and add to the party. Verse 3 says, for they got not the land in possession by their own sword, neither did their own arm save them, but thy right hand and thine arm and the light of thy countenance, because thou hadst favor unto them. Unto who? If he said he drove out the heathen, beat the heathen's ass, who was the favored ones then? Who was the favored nation? What was David? What was King David? King David was what? An Israelite of the tribe of Judah. Who was YAHAWASHI? A part of tribe Judah. What did the Lord say? What? The book of Isaiah. Israel is his vineyard, and Judah is his pleasant plant. Judah is his head tribe, his favorite tribe. Verse 4. Now this goes to all the people that's saying that the Lord doesn't have a chosen nation, that he's come back to deliver all. Fuck out of here with that. Psalms 44 and 4. 4. Thou art my king, O Yahweh. Command deliverances for Jacob. For Jacob, which is synonymous with Israel. Deliverance. So what are these other nations going? They're not going to get delivered. What do they need to get delivered from? They over us. What do they need to be delivered from? They have the resources. They have the military. They have land. We don't have none of that shit. And that's why the Lord said you have to go to your enemy for the one of all things. You should be the tail. But but us being the tail is coming to an end. It's actually at its end. It just hasn't ended. But it's at its end. It's at the end of it. We're at the tail end of Esau's rule being destroyed. We're at the tail end of Esau's rule, and these other nations haven't any part of rulership over us. That's what the world don't understand. This is all for us, and everything happening in the world is for our disobedience to Yahweh. Everything in the world, everything in the earth, because what he said, the Lord was made, the earth was made for our sakes, through YAHAWASHI and through the nation of Israel. That's how Yahweh had it set up. YAHAWASHI was gonna rule. He ruled while he was Adam, and he fucked up, and then he lost ever since. He came as YAHAWASHI, went on the cross, and that's when he got it back from the beginning. That's why he told John, I'm the first and the last. He was in his final form, his last form there. The first form was Adam. That's the heaviness of it. That's the deepness of the scriptures. That's it. That's what he meant. YAHAWASHI was the first spirit created. The first energy, the first thing that Yahweh created and said, boom, first creation, YAHAWASHI. That spirit. That's why he's so beloved of Yahweh. That's why he's so, you know what I mean? Because that's his pride. That's his first creation. His pride and joy, which is YAHAWASHI. It always is. It always will be. Always was. Man, I'm going to keep it going. This is Psalms 44 and 5. Through thee, who is thee? Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. Through thee, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, will we push down our enemies. Through thy name, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, will we tread them under that rise up against us. And who's rising up against us? All these other nations. They're all risen up against us. They all laughed at our down. They all took part in our downfall. And they all going to take part in our redemption. Being our captives, being servants to us now. That's what the world didn't consider. None of these nations are thinking that right now. They might maybe have a little pocket of a thought of like, something's about to change, but they're not looking forward to it. They're not out here pushing like, yeah, we are out. Yeah, Yahweh shall come back and deliver the Israelites so they could put us into captivity. You don't hear the nations saying that. Why would they? But at the end of the day, it's still going to happen. Okay, so continuing on. Verse 6, it says, for I would not trust in thy bow, neither shall my sword save me. And what do you got people, let's gather up arms, get your strap up. No, that's not going to deliver you. Because at the end of the day, if you're running, let's say for instance, right, you're running, right? You have a gun on you. You're running and the Lord could just have some collapse on you, just crush you. Your gun did nothing. That's what, your gun did nothing. or a sporadic explosion. What can a gun do with that? A gun, a knife, a bow and arrow, none of that, your missiles, none of that can save you from Yahweh BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI's judgment. Because that's not of man. All the things we're talking about is of man. A gun is of man, a knife is of man. Yahawashi said, I'm not coming back to meet you as a man. I shall not meet thee as a man. You think you're going to be able to pierce Yahawashi when he comes back? You think you're going to put a whip to his back again? You think Yahawashi coming for that? He coming for all smoke, all the good. He come back to get all of what's his, and that's the whole earth. The whole earth is Yahawashi's. Yahweh gave it to him. This is his inheritance, including us and you other nations. But he don't like you. He loves his elect. That's his brothers. Okay. Verse 7, it reads, but thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us. And who hates us? The whole world. Even 2/3 of our people. You know what I'm saying? They hate two-thirds of our people hate us, man. They hate the ones coming and naming Yahawashi. Because why? They hated Yahawashi. What did the Lord say? He said what? If they hated you, they hated me first. You know what I mean? So, verse 8, and it says, in Yahweh we boast all the day long and praise thy name forever. Call Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Because as high, as far as you go, what's the word? Exalting Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, he said you still fall very, very short. And he said to you, you could yell at the top of your lung till you're blue in the face, as they would say. Still not enough. It can never be. He's infinite. And as of now, we're still in flesh as men. And when we do get immortality, who you think is giving it to us? Yahweh BAHASHAM Yahweh. Well, Yahweh. But Yahweh gave it to Yahawashi first, and then to Yahawashi give it to the rest. Like a first son, like your first son does. Hold down the fort. That's it. So, with that, Lord willing is edifying. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM Rokakadash, and double honors to the apostles of Israel, a.k.a. the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.